Yeah, I'm just wondering, do people actually think that there's some technique or practice you can do that when you're in a impossible situation, that if you practice this technique, will it let you just stay present? Like, do people teach that? And worse than that, do people buy it? I don't know. I just found myself wondering about that as I pushed record on this. All right, so obviously, you don't have the power to do that. Not in real existential situations, war zone, chronic pain, chronic health, a loved one just dies in front of you. Like, what do you mean? You know, car accident. I'm going to talk about that in a second. Grace has to like do that for you, but don't have an expectation that that should be like that. No, if I was spiritual, I should be able to be in any situation. I'd just be cool, you know. Mom comes, Yash, like a hurricane just blew the house down. Oh, all is good. You know, you think it's gonna be like, you lost all your things. Car, I got a new car, Toyota Camry. I mean, it's not new, but I really like that car. I haven't had a car in 20 years. Well, I've been overseas for 20 years, so we had a 2005 Nissan Sentra, and now I was like, I need to get another car, I think, because it didn't feel right anymore. And so then we got a few year old Camry. I'm like, this feels good. It's like having new clothes or something. Like, you don't want to wear the same old clothes forever. But I like the Camry because I'm telling you, if I had millions of dollars, I wouldn't be doing anything different, and I wouldn't be driving any different car. Back in the day, I want the Corvette and the Cobra Mustang and the Countach. Now it would just feel funny to drive that. I'd feel weird. It's like, you might as well write in your windshield, please look at me, or something, you know. But I like the Camry because it was balanced. It's a little sport. It has a little something, but it doesn't look like just some boring car either. You know, you find things that represent you, clothes, car, you know, whatever. Okay. I mean, for me, this is such common sense, but maybe we need to hear this. When you're in impossible situation, let yourself feel what comes up and feel. Process that. Don't sweep it under the carpet and suppress it, and then you'll just be more weird. You're people who are more holistic, like, they can sense that. It's like, this person's just weird. You're like, it's like mind. There's no synergy in that being. It's just mind speaking. They're like cut off. You can just sense it, you know. When you have certain intimate conversations, there's places they don't want to go because it brings up things subconsciously, issues or insecurities, and stuff. They get challenged, and so they somehow divert the conversation. They don't even know they're doing it because it's like subconscious diversion techniques the mind uses. So, you know, that comes from not letting yourself be in the moment and feeling what you're supposed to feel in the moment. That's where that suppression comes from. So don't do that as best as you can. You accept. Even if it's not a big situation. Let's say somebody took your parking spot and you're like reaching under the seat to like regulate, and you're like, whoa, wait a minute, they just took my parking place. Like, it's okay. All right, you accept how this human limited self is like working off its karma. That's the best way to transcend it, is by accepting it, not by denying it or trying to do spiritual stuff, techniques and things to like bypass it. There's just no way. There's no way around it. You know, those who've been around know that already. There's no way around it. You can't do it. You can fool yourself for a little while, but then you walk around half-baked. You know, you're like, it's like you know all the spiritual stuff, but it's not. There's no homeostasis inside. It's like, it's just everything's here. The energy's not flowing. I remember when I was like 21, I had to take Xanax because I was having trouble. Intruders coming. I think it's a girl. and I had a girlfriend. Man, I made so much money. That's when I made the most money selling cars, when I was on Xanax. Everything was cool. I was like, hi, can I help you today? No, we're just looking. I'm like, oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, there's not a lot of nice cars here to look at. All right, well, I'll just stand over here and let you look. You see, that energy was very accommodating. And then they'd ask me questions, I'd sell cars. Now, when I wasn't on the Xanax, I'd go up and be like, so, you want to buy a car? No, we're just looking. Oh, you're just looking? Why don't you go stand on the side of the freeway and look at cars? You get more cars there. You see more cars. Why are you like wasting my time? You say, it's different. Xanax made everything cool. Okay, that was the seeming positive side. The problem is you can't take things that aren't natural forever and expect just to, there's no loophole. At some point, you're gonna need more, and then it becomes toxic, and then you get to where I got to where I was as bad taking a high dose as when I first started taking it. I'm like, that's when I realized, I'm like, no, I need spiritual power. There's no loophole. Still, disclaimer, there's some people you might need to take some things for a while. Grace will show you how to wean off and what to do and all that. Yeah, I don't give any like fast, hard rules like stop doing this now. No, that's silly. So my girlfriend asked me that once, but I was cut off. That's the thing. That's why I was like feeling good and chill. I was like cut off from myself. Xanax just cut me off. And she asked me once, she could tell. I was like the half-baked person I'm talking about. And she said, how do you feel? I said, I'm good. And as I said that, I saw myself, I'm like, damn, you're full of shit. And then I looked at her and she's like, and then I started laughing. I'm like, damn, I know what you saw. I saw it too, but like, what to do? All right. So whatever starts to come up, the emotional energies, you accept that and you let that be there. Now, when you're in impossible situations, sometimes you hear about, like, damn, he must be super spiritual. He was in a war zone, but he was like chill somehow. Or he was getting into I don't know, you fill in the blank. I was a sport bike addict, and I had a Ninja ZX 600 back in the day. I was about 20. I just could not stop driving that fast. You could get to 100 in like 4 seconds. And I was I was speeding, man. And I went up a hill a little bit, and but then you can't see what's down, right? So then as I went down, I saw the traffic light. It was red. There wasn't enough time to stop. It was like everything happened in slow motion. The car was stopped. I was heading right for it. I got off the bike. The bike went under the car. I slid. I ended up right by the driver's car door. He opened the car door. I gave him my cool little thing, and then I just was unconscious. And I woke up in the hospital. Okay, but I was super chill during the whole thing. It's not like when I went over the hill and I saw the car, I'm like, oh no. I was just chill, man. I was like, okay, I'll just go around. You see how the consciousness will kick in? You see how there's some higher force that's running the show? It's the same thing as war zones. Sometimes people, they just so much happening, everything. You're like in a deeper meditation during that than all the years of practicing meditation, doing your formal sitting. Yeah. If that's not proof that like there's a higher nature that's running everything that we're not aware of all the time, like what else do you need to know? That helps you kind of relax. That helps you like stop trying so hard to like conquer things. The mind wants to conquer things. At first, maybe it wants to conquer negative things. But then that comes into the spiritual world. Now you want to conquer the awakening. You want to conquer, you want to go into some club techno club and you want to sit there and just meditate because, like, if I'm super spiritual, I should be able to sit here and meditate. The mind starts coming up with all these ridiculous things, and you're measuring your spiritual progress, and that's something that needs to be aware of and then let go of. Don't worry about, like, if you start to imagine what some really heavy, baffling, impossible situation is, and oh my God, if this happens, how am I going to do it? Because maybe something like that is, you foresee it happening. Meaning, maybe you have a loved one who's sick. I know a couple people like that. It's clear, like, their spouse or their mother's gonna pass. They're in the last stage, and they start worrying about it. They're like, oh my God, like, how am I going to handle this when this happens? Or wife, or yeah, if you're in a marriage even and it's being ended, oh, I have the kids and I don't know, like, what's going to happen. That we can throw that in there. Impossible situation. What can you don't try to figure that out, man. But just admit to yourself that's impossible to figure out. That's just too big to figure out. You can't use a mental technique to, like, figure that out. You instead develop this relationship with inside yourself, with the source that's running everything. First, try to be aware that something's running everything, and then just let your intuition kind of show you how to merge more and more with that. And if you feel like you're not getting any data or guidance, be okay with that. Say, okay, God, I know you're there. I know you're guiding me. I can't hear it or feel it. Can you, like, help me accept that and just somehow open me up so I can hear, and just give me a little something, sign, and help me, and that's how you start. You start with that. And then that grows. That relationship will grow. And then if the impossible situation happens and you're really thrown off, you're like, okay, better luck next time. Or you're feeling really intense, the event took place and it's really breaking you down. Okay, good. Cooperate with that. Too many people fight human existence, and that just makes more problems. People's motivation for being spiritual is to get out of pain, for the most part. They don't want to accept their human existence. But the irony is, you don't become spiritual until you accept your human existence. That's the thing. And then you don't even call it being spiritual. Other people will say you're spiritual. You're like, I'm just like, what do you mean? Yeah. All right, do the best you can, and I'm gonna go. I'll see you.